Brendan, it's absolutely awful. The family, they're distraught. Today, they prayed at the place Pam died.
Tonight, a family is grieving the loss of their loved one. Police say a freak accident took her life.
They're in the drive-through lane where the tragic accident took place. Pamela Page's family members stood there in shock, heartbroken, grappling with the pain and grief, all while trying to understand how this tragedy could have happened. How could Pamela be dead? How could life be so cruel, and death so sudden and unpredictable? Yet, life is a beautiful and complex gift. It is the essence of this human experience. It is filled with moments of joy, love, and connection, each like a brush stroke on the canvas of our shared humanity. But this precious life is also fragile and uncertain. Tragic accidents, those sudden and devastating events, remind us of how delicate our lives can be. Authorities called it a freak accident. This is the true story of one such heartbreaking event, showing how a small mistake caused the death of a beautiful young woman, who had her whole life ahead of her until it was taken away in an instant. March 23, 2016, Summerville, South Carolina. On a seemingly ordinary Wednesday morning, a woman named Pamela Page went out for her usual morning coffee. This was just any other typical morning for the lively 28-year-old mother from North Charleston. But tragically, this was Pamela's last morning alive, and the coffee shop was the last place she would ever visit. She arrived at the coffee shop, Bigby Coffee on Old Trolley Road, likely looking forward to the hot cup of coffee she was about to order. Unbeknownst to the baristas inside, who were busy preparing lattes and cappuccinos, a tragedy was about to unfold just outside their windows. Pamela pulled into the drive-thru to place her order. As she prepared to pay for her coffee, a small, seemingly insignificant moment occurred. It's something that probably everyone has experienced. She dropped her credit card. Instinctively, she opened her car door and bent down to pick it up. Her car remained idling in the drive-thru lane. In that brief moment, Pamela leaned out of her vehicle, her foot slipped off the brake, and her car, still in drive, suddenly lurched forward. It all happened too fast. Her vehicle, still in drive, began rolling forward. She must have tried to stop it, but the sudden movement was too quick. What happened next was equally horrific as it is heartbreaking. The driver's side door hit a nearby pillar, pinning her body between the car and the structure. It was her vehicle's door, which she had left ajar so she could retrieve her credit card, that swung wide open and collided forcefully against Pamela and the pillar supporting the building's awning. The impact was devastating. Pamela's head struck the driver's side door with such force that she suffered fatal blunt force trauma to her head and neck. The whole scene was like a nightmare. In an instant, a young woman was lying deceased in the Bigby Coffee drive-thru, after the grinding sound of metal against concrete, loud and jarring, cut through the morning air. The force was so devastating that the impact caused the door to bend and press inward, where Pamela was left lifeless, between it and the frame of her vehicle, unable to be saved from the bizarre tragic accident. Her body, caught in an unyielding vice, had no room to escape. The collision caused her head to strike the edge of the door with brutal force, causing catastrophic injuries. Inside the coffee shop, startled employees and customers turned towards the direction of the noise. They saw the car, awkwardly positioned against the pillar, and this is when people rushed outside to help. The baristas, who had just given Pamela her coffee moments before, were now confronted with the horrific sight of her lying dead in the drive-thru of the coffee shop. They called 911, and despite the quick arrival of emergency services, it was clear that nothing could be done to save Pamela. The paramedics worked swiftly, but the blunt force trauma to her head and neck had been fatal. Onlookers stood in stunned silence, the gravity of the accident sinking in. The bustling drive-thru lane, a familiar part of many people's daily routines, had become the site of a heart-wrenching tragedy that Pamela's family, friends, and community would never forget.
family members are still shedding tears.
I was so proud of her, and I'm going to make her proud of me.
As they come to grips with what happened to their sister, Pamela Page, here in the parking lot at Big B Coffee.
When I got here, I'm like, where's my sister? And they're just looking at me. I'm like, where's my sister? And looking at the car.
Her sister Ebony says Pam was a beautiful 28-year-old mother who sometimes worked up to 3 jobs to support her 3 young daughters.
I love her so much, and I'm gonna miss her. And don't worry about the girls. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure they stick together.
But family members say Pamela wouldn't want them to cry because she was always happy.
She was kind-hearted, loved everybody. I hate this happened. She's an angel now, watching over us and her babies. We're gonna miss her.
Pamela was one of 6 children. She was in the middle, but all of her siblings say they looked up to her.
You know, losing her was like losing a mother. Like, she always would tell us, you know, stick together, we sisters. So just to lose my sister, like, I don't want this to be true. But she always says, stay strong. I don't want y'all crying. Turn up at my funeral. That's the type of person she was. So just everybody who know her, you know, stay strong and honor her. Have a party. Listen to her songs. You know, turn up, because that's Pam.
Pam's best friend, Shayna Smith, was actually on the phone with her when the accident at the drive-thru happened.
We just was in the middle of discussion. I heard her body fighting to continue to live. And it just ate me up because I couldn't do anything about it.
As news of the accident spread, the community of Somerville was engulfed in grief. Regular customers, who had come to know Pamela by sight if not by name, left flowers and notes at the scene. The owners of Big B Coffee decided to close the store for the day out of respect for Pamela and her grieving family. Pamela's family, reeling from the terrible tragedy and the sudden, violent nature of her death, gathered at the coffee shop the next day. They shared memories, tears, and hugs, leaning on each other for support. Her sister, Ebony, spoke to the crowd, her voice breaking as she described the profound loss they all felt. Pamela was the light in our lives, she said. She was a dedicated mother, a caring sister, and a friend to everyone she met. Her love and laughter will be deeply missed. In the days that followed, a makeshift memorial grew in front of Big B Coffee. Friends, family, and strangers alike left candles, stuffed animals, and handwritten notes expressing their sorrow and support. Pamela was well known for her cheerful spirit and strong dedication to her family. She was a loving mother to her 3 young daughters, aged 9, 6, and just 5 months. Her days were filled with the hustle and bustle of motherhood, along with working multiple jobs to support her family. Despite these challenges, Pamela's warmth and laughter were constants in the lives of her loved ones. It truly is terrifying how such a regular everyday activity can become deadly so fast. For Pamela's family, the road ahead would be filled with pain and adjustment, but the community's outpouring of love and solidarity offered a glimmer of hope amidst their grief. A wonderful person with a bright future left this world too soon on that fateful morning at Big B Coffee on Old Trolley Road. What should have been just another simple drive-through visit quickly turned into a disaster, devastating a family and affecting the entire community. Authorities first thought that Pamela's foot might have pressed down on the accelerator, but an incident report suggested this was false, and instead her foot slipped off of the brake pedal. The responding officer observed no signs of acceleration. Pamela's sister Ebony's emotional tribute on Facebook captured the depth of their pain. "I wouldn't wish this kind of pain on my worst enemy. Not my big sis. Wish I could feel your hugs one more time. Just one more. I'm not ready to let you go." One of the most touching tributes came from Ebony, who posted a photo of herself holding a cup from Big B Coffee. She fondly remembered how Pamela always tried to persuade her to try the coffee, a playful part of their relationship. "Pam stayed trying to persuade me to try her coffee and I would always make a stank face lol," she wrote. "I ordered the last coffee she had, and you know what, sis? This coffee is kind of good. Love you." Pamela's 3 daughters now face a future without their beloved mother. The family, while grieving, also thought about the needs of these young children. They urged those who wanted to honor Pamela's memory to contribute to her children's care. Children clothes, diapers, wipes, children's books, whatever you can contribute to help, her sister wrote. All help is appreciated. My sister go hard for her 3 girls. No matter what, she made sure they were beyond good. In her grief, Pamela's sister found strength in her siblings' resilience and love. "I love you, big sis," she continued. "I'm gonna stay strong and keep smiling. Thank you for teaching me how to survive."
A family friend says 28-year-old Pamela Page is originally from Blenheim, which is near Florence, South Carolina, and we were told she has 3 young children, the youngest just a few months old. Her family is on the way to this area right now.
The accident happened at the Big B coffee shop on Old Trolley Road just before 9 o'clock this morning. Police say she pulled up to this service window and had dropped something out of her car. Well, when she went to pick it up, apparently she accidentally hit the gas pedal, pinning herself between her car and the building. Now, I want to show you the orange markings. You can see these right here. This is from the scene where she died.
Our Karina Bolster is at that coffee shop for us tonight. Karina, a lot of folks are really shocked to hear about what happened today.
Debbie and Bill, they are. Many of the customers who come to this coffee shop quite often actually told me today they hadn't even heard about this accident even happening. However, when I told them exactly what had happened, they were horrified that something like this could have happened to a young woman.
Terrible. It's an accident. I'm sorry that she passed away. I mean, my heart goes out to her family. That's awful. I'm so sorry.
Many people either drove up to Big B Coffee or even walked up to find the shop was closed. While the owner wouldn't go on camera, he told me he and the employees are shocked about what happened this morning and out of respect for the family decided to keep it closed all day. Many customers finding that decision to be fitting given the circumstances.
Sure, out of respect. Yes, I could understand that.
Somebody lost their life. Like, I can go somewhere else for coffee.
Markings can still be seen on the ground where the accident took place less than 10 hours ago. The accident is still one many are trying to come to grips with, especially after it took the life of a 28-year-old.
The young people are dying very often these days, and I think it's just terrible. I just don't understand why. When I was 28, whoever thought of dying?
Now, the Dorchester County coroner says that Page's primary cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head and her neck. Now, at this time, an autopsy has not been done.
We hate it happen, but you can't question God.
I want to miss her.
That's fear. Coming together, that shows that we're tied. That shows that we are united. Why are we afraid to come together? You know, I'm not saying come have dinner with me. I'm just saying stand with me on the things that are affecting your neighborhood and mine. We need to show the criminal element that we're united, not that we're afraid.